everyone, welcome back. Thank you for joining me. This is the Ellie Ness Crafts channel. I'm coming to you from Kent in the UK and my name is Lorraine. So, let's see. Carrying on from last time, last video was episode Crafting Chat 28, and in that video I mentioned a subscriber giveaway that I have going on because I have 200 plus subscribers. So all the information on how to enter that subscriber giveaway was given in that video. I just wanted to update you on the situation. As you know, and this is going to be the last time I'm going to talk about the coronavirus and how it's affecting me, because I think we all need a bit of escapism at the moment, and I don't want to be going into loads and loads of detail about what's going on in the world because everybody's affected and you all know. So anyway, so I had, in my last video, I had mentioned that I was doing a 200 subscriber giveaway and the prize were these 2 project bags. So there'll be 2 winners and each will win a project bag. So the issue I have is that post office is difficult to get to in the current climate, and we are in the UK in self-isolation just for our own safety. And so I'm not going to be running out to the post office to post project bags currently. So I am going to kind of put it on hold for the time being. So what that means for you is that you get extra time to enter, which is a good thing, right? So what I'm saying is, what I'm thinking of doing what I'm thinking of doing is to extend the giveaway. However, what you need to do, if you still want to enter the giveaway and be in with a chance of winning one of those 2 project bags, then you need to watch my Crafting Chat 28 video and follow the instructions on there. Okay, so to be able to still stand a chance of winning one of the project bags that I have shown in that video, go and watch my Crafting Chat 28 video and follow the instructions that I've given you over there for how to enter. And that is it. So, moving on, I have not been doing a whole heap of crafting the last, last 20 days or so. I just haven't really been in the mood to be getting out, you know, popping out lots of socks as I was at the beginning of the year. If you guys remember, I have been on a bit of a sock roll. I was going crazy with socks for some reason. I have kind of calmed down a bit now, maybe because of what's going on in the world. It's kind of preoccupied my brain, and I had slowed down a lot. However, I seem to be picking up again, so I've started knitting again. I've started a crochet project, and yeah, things are picking up because I'm going to be stuck at home for a while, and I'm trying to keep my mind busy and to not be constantly watching the news and scaring myself with what is going on in the world at the moment. So me doing this video is kind of a little bit of escapism, and so yeah, I thought I'd come and sit in front of the camera, have a chat with you about what I've been working on, and just kind of fill you in on all things crafty for me. So that's where we are. So if you are interested in watching what I am going to be showing you today, I have some knitting and some crocheting, and that is it for this time round. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing what I've been doing on those 2 particular crafts, then stay tuned and we will move into finished objects. So my first finished object I have to share with you is a crochet project, and I got this, I won this pattern. It's the Amigurumi Baby Elephant pattern by Old Soul Crochet. I won this probably about a year ago now, and I've used the pattern a couple of times, and somebody in my family had requested that I make them one of these around about Christmas time. So I got the yarn in a while ago, and only recently have I been inclined to make a start on it, and I finished it off yesterday. So the one that I'm doing is for a little girl in my family, and so I have chosen pink yarn, which is, I don't know if I've got the label or if I threw it away. It was a Bernat yarn. I think I've thrown the label away. yeah, sorry about that. It's a Bernat yarn, which is a bulky yarn, and I think it's polyester, and this is what I've made. So this is my version. So I've used the pink colour, baby pink. I got the wool or the yarn on Wool Warehouse website. I'm not sure if they are still open for sales. I would assume that they're still open for online deliveries. So, but do check them out, woolwarehouse.com. So yeah, I got the yarn from them, and I've used 2 balls of the yarn to create this. One thing I would mention, I'm quite happy with it, apart from the fact that one eye is slightly bigger than the other eye. But my husband says that's what makes it unique and special, and makes the recipient know that it was made by me especially for them. So that's kind of a little bit of a bonus. I haven't yet put my little tag on the back or the butt. I can't remember how I did it last time, so I've got to kind of think about which label to stick on it, just to show that it was done by me. But yeah, I ran out of yarn towards the end before I'd done the tail. So what I had to do was get together the little odds and ends of yarn, the little scraps that I had cut off when I finished it, and just do, I think I did a foundation single crochet and of about 3 stitches. I did about, no, 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches using foundation single crochet, and then a single crochet, one row of single crochet. So that's US terms, isn't it? Single crochet. So that'll be double crochet in the UK, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, there's only 2 rows of stitching going on here in the tail. I didn't follow the pattern for the tail because, like I said, I didn't have enough yarn, so I just used some little scraps that I managed to scrape together to just do the tail, and hopefully that's fine. And I've sewn it on, attached it. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. This is what it looks like. It's quite big. You can see, look, it's quite big against me. The only thing that I was a bit unsure about, and I've put a little bit of ribbon around the neck, the only thing I was a little bit unsure about, and I keep adjusting the ears, was the size of the body and the head, because the body's quite small compared to the head. I think I found this the last time I did the pattern. The head is massive compared to the body. I think maybe I should make a note on the actual pattern that next time I do this, I make the body and the head the same shape, rather than following the pattern section for the body, because I feel like the body is not, it just doesn't feel like chubby enough like that to look like a body. I don't know, it feels a little bit longer. But anyway, I'm sure that the baby, it's for a baby, so I'm sure she's not really going to care about that. I got the stuffing for this on the Wool Warehouse website, and I bought the lining, which is a white fleece, at my local market. I've still got quite a lot left of that, so I can do other projects, other animals. Yes, so Old Soul Crochet. She is online. She has a YouTube channel, so check her out. And she has loads of patterns for stuffed toy animals on her YouTube channel, and possibly, I think she's got a website as well. Let's see, there you go, I'll show you the bottom and you can see the website information. Not sure if I'm going to do show notes this time, but there's all the information down there. And yeah, quite a really good pattern, really enjoyed doing it. Like I said, I've made it before, this is the 3rd one now, so it's got to be good, right? So that is my first finished object. As a kind of well, I suppose I'm more intermediate level crocheter now. It wasn't difficult to do, but it was, it could be a little bit tricky, especially when you're doing the attaching the fleece fabric. And for me, I'm not really great at lining things up properly. So you can see, I feel like I've got wonky ears there. I'm not really great at judging whether something is evenly spaced or, you know, whatever. But like my husband said, it makes it unique and it shows that it's handmade. So I don't think it's too much of a problem. But yeah, so that is my first finished object, a crochet project. Yay, and I really like it. Next up, I have a pair of socks, because as you know, I was on a sock kick. These are vanilla socks. So the thing about these socks, this is what's unique about these, and I'll tell you in a second. Let me just put them on the blockers. So I ran out of yarn, for one. and these were Afterthought socks, Afterthought everything. So I tried something slightly different, and I think I may have tried this before. But this is what they look like. I've been trying to use this stripy yarn here, which I think I mentioned in my last video, which is an Artisano yarn. All information is on my Ravelry page, so check that out. If you need any information relating to the products in terms of like needle sizes, yarn I've used, all of that is on my project pages on Ravelry. I'm quite good at filling in all the information over there, so do check that out if you want more information that I don't give in the video. So anyway, so these were Afterthought Everything socks. So what I did was I knit the rib section in, what was it, Spartan yarn or something like that? I can't remember now, but it's on my Ravelry page, do check that out. I knit that in the pink, then I did the whole sock tube in the stripy colours, and I think they're, what are they, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows each stripe. They're 5 row stripes, and then I worked down to this end. I did stripy all the way until I finished and ran out of the yellow stripy yarn. And what I did, before I finished the pink yarn, I cast on the cuff for the other end of the sock. So the reason I did that was because when it comes to casting on the cuff of a sock, I use the old Norwegian cast on, or otherwise known as the German twisted cast on, and that works really well. I like the stretch in it, I like the way it springs back. It's my go-to cast on. But when I use what is it, Jenny Stretchy Bind Off, when I do bind offs for socks in the rib, it's not as spring backy, and it doesn't match. One cuff doesn't match the other when I'm doing the Afterthought heels if I use the bind off, the stretchy bind off for the cuff. I hope that's clear. So when I'm binding off a cuff and I do the bind off, it's not, it may be stretchy, but then it doesn't spring back like it does when I do the cast on. So I decided to try something different. So I knit the rib section, I knit the cuff, and then I stopped when I'd finished the cuff, which was I think 20 rows of 2x2 rib. And what I did was I kitchenered. I used the Kitchener stitch to attach the stripy section to the cuff, so that I then have two cuffs which are matching. Both of them are stretchy and they spring back, both using the same cast on technique. And you won't even see, I don't think you even can see the difference that between the two socks in terms of one has been Kitchener stitched on and the other one was just knit as normal. I'm not sure you can even tell the difference from the inside. Possibly this one was I think this one was the Kitchener one. But from the outside you won't see the difference. They are the same. And I'm really pleased with the way it turned out, because, let me turn my camera, sorry my camera was spinning. So now I have the cuffs that are stretchy enough that they spring back on both feet because I kitchenered them to attach it, and then I added in the heel. Now this project was a bit disastrous in the sense that I ran out of the pink yarn that I'd used for the cuff, and then had to find another pink yarn to use for the heels and the toes, because as is obvious, when I say afterthought everything, I did everything after I'd used up all of these, all the yellow, the stripy colouring and the pink, the original pink. So my friend Emma sent me some pink yarn so that I could do the heels and the toes. The heels and toes are done in exactly the same way, which is a rounded toe. Kind of wedge shape but slightly rounded, and the same for the heel, and they fit really nicely and I'm really pleased with them. So yeah, and I have quite a lot of this pink left over, which I'm not quite sure what to do with, but at least it was there to help me finish off the socks. And I think the socks still, even though I've used a different yarn for heels and toes than I've used for the cuff, I think it still looks fine, and they're still very wearable. And the heels should be more durable, because the stripy yarn was an alpaca yarn and this one had the nylon in it, and if I'd had this left it would have been better for the heel than trying to use more of the yellow. Anyway, I managed to use up most. I think I've finished all the yellow, all the stripy one, the yellowy, the rainbow stripy one, this one, the alpaca one. I've used up all of that, and which is what was my goal in doing these socks, and I'm really pleased. And they fit nicely. So yeah, so those are my socks. I have another pair of socks on the needles, which I'll show you when I go into whipped up or whips. But my next whip, well, next finished object even, is some headbands or ear warmers. So I had some leftover yarn. I've got a straight end here. I had some leftover yarn, which was Rose Whisper. I don't think I've got the label for that here either. Sorry, I'm very kind of impromptu today. No, I don't have the yarn label for that. Check out my Ravelry page for that information. I had some leftover yarn and it was a cotton-based cotton yarn, and I decided to use that to make some ear warmers or a headband, which again was requested by a relative. So she wanted one for herself as an adult and one for her baby. So I've made two, and I used this pattern. I think I found it on Ravelry. That's it there. Do take a note if you're interested in that. It's just slightly cinched in the front there, and it's to cover the ears and the head. It felt when I put it on. So what I found with this is where I've not cast it on, where I've chained or did a foundation chain, whatever you call it, where I've started, it's slightly tighter or more taut than where I have finished off. As you should be able to see that when I'm holding it. Do you see? It's slightly less stretchy in this section. So I guess that is going to be the top, and this is, hang on, how did I do it? That's the bottom, that's the top, something like that. No, that's the top. That's the bottom. So I've put it, let me try it on and show you. I thought it feels like it's a little bit too big. So it's too big in my opinion to be a headband really, because it covers the ears. And I feel like if the person I gave it to is going to wear it as a headband, it's going to be quite loose because it's really big, and you wouldn't usually have a headband sitting like over your ears like that, would you? You'd have it kind of behind them slightly, and then that's a bit too loose. So I'm not quite sure how she's going to want to wear it, but I thought I would have another go and maybe reduce the number of stitches to make it slightly more fitted on the head and less ear warmerish, which is what it is, and more headbandish, because that's what she's asked for. So that's the adult one. Anyway, and it's just a combination of single crochets and half double crochets. Is that the right side? That's actually, I think I had it on the wrong way. So that's what it looks like. This is the Rose Whisper colourway. I've used this colourway to make a blanket, a baby blanket, so you probably recognise the yarn. It's a cotton yarn, it's really lovely and soft. So that's the adult one, and then I've made a baby one out of what was left, and there wasn't any pink left in the little scrap that I had, so it's just beige I've got, and I don't have any babies here to try it on. I had to kind of just guess as to how many stitches to use for a baby's head, so hopefully that will fit, but I am planning to have another go and make a slightly smaller one for the adult and possibly a slightly smaller one for the baby, and see what happens, see what fits. And if they don't fit, then I will probably just give these to charity and try again with a smaller size. But that's the pattern that I used. Who's the actual Little Monkeys Crochet, and I'm pretty sure I got it on Ravelry if you're interested. So it's a cinched ear warmer crochet pattern. So there you go, so that's that one. That's it. Those are all my finished objects. So yeah, I have been working on a couple of other projects since I finished those. I only finished the elephant last night, so I've got I guess some crocheting capacity. So I may find something else to crochet, but let me share with you what I have been working on in the whips section. Let's start with whips. Okay, for whips I have been working on another pair of socks, and I finished one sock, and this is the first sock. These are 72 stitches, and these are for my brother. And the yarn is a Zaubable Crazy in the colour Stone Washed, and that's what it looks like. I really like it. It's really lovely and soft, and I can't remember what it is in terms of what it's made up of. So we've got 75% wool, it says, and then 25% nylon. It's quite a durable yarn. I've used the Zaubable yarns before and I really like them. So this is, I think, the third one by Zaubable that I have or have bought. It's really nice. I'm quite looking at it wondering if I should buy another pair, another ball to make a pair of socks for myself, because I like this colourway. Anyway, so these are vanilla socks, and as per usual I have a I've done a old Norwegian cast on, otherwise known as German twisted cast on, with a 2x2 rib for 20 rows or roughly 2 inches. Then I work the leg as far as I feel is appropriate depending on who I'm knitting it for. And these are for my brother, so he likes a slightly longer leg, so that's why they're kind of the full length of my sock blockers. Then I do a heel flap and gusset with a normal slip stitch heel there, and then a rounded wedge toe at the front. And like I said, I've only done one so far. This is what the yarn looks like. I don't seem to have the yarn label for some weird reason, but that's what it looks like in the ball. Usually I tend to do 2 socks at a time, concurrently, if that's the right word, but because of the way this is wound up, you're supposed to start from the outside, and there's no way of knowing where the inside end is. So I've just completed one sock. I have another sock to do, and I have got that far. I haven't even finished the ribbon on this one, so yeah, I've got a bit of a way to go, but I will get there, and I'm enjoying the yarn. So that is that. That's one work in progress. Oh, and the needle size I use for these is 2.25 millimeters, and I think that's a US size 1. Let me just check that. Yeah, US size 1. So that's one, and the bag that I have these in, that I'm housing these in, is my knitting teaspoon bag, which she kindly made for a giveaway for me. And yeah, and that's Lisbeth, who incidentally has just had a baby. So congratulations, Lisbeth, if you're watching on the birth of your new baby. I'm still using the bag. So yeah, so that's that. Then I think I've only got 2 whips. Well, 2 whips that I've been working on. Let me just check. I think I've only got 2 whips left. Yeah. So the last whip I have to show you is this one. This is the Autumn Square jumper or sweater. And I showed you in the last video the green and brown one that I did, and I'll try and insert a picture of what that looked like. I decided to do another one, this time using just 2 yarns. So is there any point? See, it's difficult to show you the pattern because it doesn't really give a good, doesn't really show a good picture. If I can, I'll try and insert a picture of what the Autumn Square looks like. Anyway, so this is how far I have got with the jumper. So I'm all over the place with this. I've done part of one sleeve. I finished the neck when that's supposed to be last. Haven't done the other sleeve, and I've got down to the hem, but I didn't want to finish the hem because I wasn't sure how long I wanted it. So I've kind of got these on hold while I work on the sleeves, because I don't want to run out of yarn for the sleeves. I want the sleeves to be the correct length and follow in the pattern so that I can do all the detail on the sleeves that I missed out last time. So anyway, so the yarn I'm using, as you can probably tell, is Gone to Earth by Biff Sugar Yarns, what I used in the last Autumn Square jumper. And this one is Paper Roses by Biff Sugar Yarns. Let me find the labels. and I can show you. So Paper Roses she no longer does, unfortunately, so it's Biff Sugar yarns, and the colourway for the pinky colour is Paper Roses, and that was the information there. She no longer does this colourway, but I think she said she's got a colourway that is similar called Beatrice, I think, Beatrix. So go and check out her website. She's on Etsy. And then the brown one is Biff Sugar Yarns again, and Gone to Earth, and that's the information. Both of these are MCN yarns. That's merino cashmere nylon, and you can see the percentage on the card there, and that makes them super soft and really lovely to work with. So yeah, like I said, I started the top bit here, and then I using some leftover yarn, Paper Roses yarn that I'd already used and had a small amount, yes. So what I did, I tried to use up the small scrap of yarn first, and then I was going to switch to the complete hank that I had left of the other one in another dye lot. And what happened was I started doing the top bit, and part of it was, the front bit was all one colour, then the shoulder was changing dye lot or colourway, so you could see the difference between the two yarns I'd used for part of this shoulder, and the back was starting to look a completely lighter colour. So then I had got all of the top half done and had to rip it out because I wasn't happy with the way the colour was looking. I'm not sure if I took a picture of it. Let me just check on my... No, I didn't take a picture of the problem of why I ripped it out. No, I didn't take a picture of it, maybe because I was so disappointed with it. Anyway, so I ripped it all back, all of the top half back, and then started again from scratch. And I think it was a good job I did that, because I had made some mistakes in the short rows for the sleeves. And so the second time round I was able to correct those mistakes. And also the difference in colour is not obvious on this one. You can see that this bit is slightly lighter, but that could be to do with the fact that this is garter stitch and this is all stocking stitch, so it kind of looks slightly different. But it's not obvious where I've changed from one yarn to the other, because I think I was alternating the yarn. When I came to the end, what I did, when I came to the end of the complete hank that I had, then I started to alternate the little leftover skein that I had between the full hank and the leftovers, so it's really not obvious the difference in colour between the two hanks of yarn that I had. So I'm pleased that I ripped it out and restarted it. I don't think I quite managed to do a fading effect here, but I still think it looks nice. I did have to rip back a bit on this section too, because I tried to do the fade over a few rows and alternate skeins, and it was just looking like stripes. Literally for about 2 inches it just looked like stripes. So I ripped it back and tried to use up some more of the pink colour before I moved into the brown, so I only had a couple of stripes, and I think it looks okay. I think it actually works. So yeah, I think I'm quite pleased with it so far. It fits really nicely so far. It's hanging nicely, which is not like how it was when I did the green one. That one didn't quite hang in the way I wanted to, front and back. So this one seems to be hanging a lot better than that one. But like I said, I haven't finished the bottom, the hem, because the pattern says to do a certain amount of rows in the garter stitch for the hem, and I've done those and I feel like it's not long enough. So I thought I would complete the sleeves, see what's left over after I've done each sleeve, and then perhaps finish off the body. But I do have quite a lot of yarn left, so I've got yarn still attached for the body and yarn still attached for the sleeve, because I don't want to cut it and have knots at the bottom where I've had to rejoin. So I've got quite a lot. This is Gone to Earth that I've got left, and I have another one because I split it in two for the sleeves, and then I'll just use the leftovers to finish off the bottom bit, the hem. So I think that's one sleeve. So I'm planning on, at the moment I'm in the process of trying to finish up the sleeve, this sleeve, So I've got to a point where I'm waiting to see, I need to try it on to see if the sleeve is long enough before I start the detail, and then I can do the detail, finish that off and go on to the second sleeve, finish that off and then finish the bottom. So that's how I'm working, and you'll probably notice that here I'm actually, these are 9-inch circulars, but I have been using my 12-inch circulars, which I find really handy for sleeves, and these are, I think these are higher sharps, higher bamboos, and the other ones that I'm using, these I've just used as like stitch holders for the time being because I wanted to start the other sleeve, but now I'm thinking maybe I'll just finish this one. Anyway, so the needles that I am using, that I've used to knit this sleeve so far, were Chalgers, and they were 9-inch circulars, so that's them there. And that's what I've been using, and that's worked so far, and I've just put these on hold for the time being, but I'm going to put them back on this one to continue working that sleeve, finish that off. And that's that. So, oh, I thought that was my last whip. That is actually not my last whip. I have one more whip that I have been working on, and that is this. My friend asked me if I could make her son, who's my godson, a little doll, and she has chosen this doll. I asked her to send me the pattern so I could see what it is, send me a picture so I could see what it is that she wanted me to make, and she said that she had, or she could get a copy of a pattern, and could I do it from the pattern. So this is the pattern she sent me. I have no idea where she sourced it from, but it says craft time at the bottom. That's it. And this is the doll she wants me to make for her son. So far I've done the head. It's all in pieces, so it's a little bit fiddly to work with, but so far I've got as far as doing the head, and I think what's next on this, then I think I do, let's see, after the head you do the ear, the ears, the nose, the body. So yeah, so that is my other whip. Not a lot to show, I've just done the head, so hopefully next time, by the end of April, I'll have finished it, and I'll have a doll to show you. So yeah, that is it. That is what I have been up to in the last few weeks. I wanted to just quickly get this video in because my last video was quite late at the beginning of March and it should have been the end of February. So yeah, that is it. I have no incoming actually, or do I? Do I have? I don't think I have. No, I have no incoming because I haven't been ordering any yarn. I've been trying to finish things up and just work on 1 or 2 projects. But I do have a knit list, and I'm just going to show you that on screen so you can see what it is I'm planning to do. So here's my knit list. I keep writing this down and it keeps changing. I wanted to do a make 9, but I keep changing my mind, and I figure I don't know, I feel like every time I think, right, if I think of 9 things, I can put them on my list, and then I just keep changing my mind. But these are the, well, it's turned out to be 9 anyway in the end. These are the things that I've thought I might like to work on. So I've got a Galcan tray shawl. All of these are on Ravelry, I think. I've got the Galcan tray shawl, or Galcantry, I don't know how you say it, shawl, which I saw on Ravelry, which I thought looked really pretty for wearing over a an occasion dress, like a wedding or something. I've got jelly roll socks. I have this pattern already. I'm waiting to be inspired as to what yarn to use for that one. I've got the country garden socks. I have a pattern which Ellie kindly donated to me, or gave to me, and I have the yarn for that, so that'll probably be one of my next ones. I've got a Puss de Bloom wrap, which is another one that I wanted for occasion wear. I think it was between the two. I wasn't quite sure which one, so I put them both on my list. I need or want a bolero type cardigan to go over an occasion dress if I don't wear a wrap. Then I have in mind a grey cardigan that I'd like, and in my mind I'm thinking of the what is her name? Joji Locatelli. I made a blue one, a navy blue cardigan. Can't remember what it's called now. If I remember, I'll put it up on screen. I made a cardigan by Hohi Locatelli, which is a really nice cuddly kind of wrap type cardigan, and I'm thinking I might like that in grey because I do want a grey cardigan of some sort, some type. Then 7, I've seen Ellie from Craft House Magic do the right around the corner shawl, and I think Becky from Back to Blighty might have done it as well, and I like the look of it, and it looks easy enough to do and quick enough and like TV knitting type, so I thought I might like to give that a try. Then the doll, which I've already started, and another Vertices Unite shawl for a relative in gold and cream. So these are all the items that I have on my list. I guess it's my Make 9 list for 2020, so, and I've already started one of them, so we'll see how I get on progress wise with that list. Now that I'm going to have a little bit more knitting time, I suppose. So that's it. That's what I've been up to. Do let me know in the comments section what you have been working on. If you can recommend any patterns, do so in the comments section below. I'd like to see what you guys are working on, what you recommend, what you've tried out, how you've got on. Any of that kind of thing, leave those comments in the comment section below the video. It would be lovely to hear from you. I like interacting with the people that watch my video. It makes it all worthwhile. What else? I will try and get back to you with another video in a month's time, so watch this space for that. That is it. Stay safe and well, look after your loved ones. This is a difficult time for all of us, so please do take care of yourselves and each other, and I will hopefully see you in around a month's time with another video. Take care. Bye for now.